Have you ever wondered why some people achieve incredible success while others stay stuck, even when they have similar goals? Most people believe success comes from big actions, huge motivation, or life-changing moments. But the truth is much simpler and much more powerful. Real change doesn't come from one big decision. It comes from small habits repeated every single day. This is the core idea behind atomic habits. The word atomic doesn't just mean small, it also means powerful. Like atoms, tiny habits may seem insignificant, but when combined over time, they create massive results. Imagine improving just 1% every day. It sounds small, almost pointless, but over a year, that small improvement multiplies into something extraordinary. In the same way, small negative habits can slowly destroy your progress without you even noticing. The problem is, most people focus only on goals. They say, I
Chapter
want to lose
1
weight,
on
I
the
want
saying that you can.
to become rich, or I want to be successful. But goals alone don't change your life. If goals were enough, everyone with a goal would succeed. The real difference lies in systems. Systems are the daily actions you take. Goals show you the destination, but systems are the path that gets you there. Winners and losers often have the same goals. The difference is that winners follow better systems. If you improve your systems, your results will automatically improve. But there's something even deeper than systems, and that is identity. Most people try to change their habits by focusing on outcomes. They say, I want better results.
Chapter 2 can explain.
But real change happens when you change your identity. Instead of saying, I want to run, you say, I am a runner. Instead of saying, I want to read, you say, I am a reader. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. When you repeat small habits, you are not just changing what you do, you are changing who you are. And once your identity changes, your habits follow naturally. Now, if habits are so powerful, why is it so hard to stick to them? The answer is simple. Your environment shapes your behavior more than your motivation. You may think you lack discipline, but often your surroundings are working against you. If your phone is always next to you, you will check it. If unhealthy food is in front of you, you will eat it. So instead of relying on willpower, you
Chapter 3
should design your environment. Make good habits obvious and easy. Make bad habits invisible and difficult. To make this easier, the book introduces 4 simple laws of behavior change. The first law is to make it obvious. If you want to build a habit, you need to see it clearly. For example, if you want to drink more water, keep a bottle on your desk. If you want to read more, place a book where you can easily see it. The second law is to make it attractive. The more appealing a habit is, the more likely you are to follow it. You can do this by combining something you need to do with something you enjoy. For example, you can listen to your favorite music only while exercising. The third law is to make it easy. Most people fail because they try to do too much too soon. Instead of starting with a 1-hour workout, start with 2 minutes. This may sound too
Chapter 4
small, but it builds consistency. Once the habit becomes part of your routine, you can slowly increase it. The fourth law is to make it satisfying. Your brain repeats behaviors that feel rewarding. Even a small reward can reinforce a habit. This is why tracking your habits is so powerful. Every time you complete a habit, you get a sense of progress. Breaking bad habits follows the opposite process. Make them invisible, unattractive, difficult, and unsatisfying. For example, if you want to stop wasting time on your phone, keep it in another room. Small changes like this can have a big impact. One of the most practical strategies in the book is called habit stacking. This means linking a new habit to an existing one. For example, after you brush your teeth, you can meditate for 1 minute. This makes it easier to remember and build consistency. Another important concept is the idea of delayed results. Many people quit because they don't see immediate progress, but success doesn't happen overnight. It's like planting a seed. You water it every day, but nothing seems to happen at first. Then one day, it grows.
This is called the plateau of latent potential. Your efforts are building up, even if you can't see them yet. The key is to stay consistent and trust the process. Tracking your habits can also make a huge difference. When you measure your progress, you stay focused and motivated. But remember, perfection is not the goal. Missing one day is normal. The important rule is never miss twice. This helps you get back on track quickly. As you continue building habits, you reach a point where they become automatic. You no longer need motivation or discipline. Your habits become part of your identity. And that's when real transformation happens. Because success is not about one big breakthrough. It's about small actions repeated consistently over time. Think about it. If you improve just a little every day, where will you be in a year? In 5 years? In 10 years? Most people underestimate what they can achieve in the long run because they focus too much on short-term results. But the truth is, small habits shape your future. So instead of waiting for motivation, start small. Focus on building better systems, change your environment, and most importantly, become the type of person who lives by those habits. Because in the end, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And if you build the right habits, success is not a matter of if, it's only a matter of when.
I was 19 years old when everything felt like it was falling apart. And I'm not exaggerating when I say I had absolutely nothing going for me at that moment in my life. No job, no real direction, no one to guide me, and just $20 left in my wallet that I kept checking over and over again as if somehow the amount would magically increase if I stared at it long enough. But it never did. It stayed the same. A single $20 bill that felt more like a reminder of how lost I was rather than something useful. And I remember sitting outside a small grocery store on a hot afternoon, watching people walk in and out with bags full of food, drinks, and things they didn't even think twice about buying, while I was sitting there calculating whether I should spend my last money on food or save it for something important, even though I had no idea what that important thing was. And in that moment, I felt stuck. Completely stuck, like life had already moved ahead and I had been left behind without even realizing it. And that's when a man approached me. Just a regular-looking guy, nothing flashy, no expensive clothes, no sign that he was successful or anything special, just someone you'd normally ignore if you passed him on the street. But he stopped right in front of me and asked a simple question. "Why aren't you inside?" And I didn't even think before answering. I just held up the $20 and said, "Because this is all I have." And I expected him to either nod politely and walk away, or maybe say something like, "Things will get better," the kind of empty words people say when they don't really know what else to say. But instead, he looked at the money, then looked straight into my eyes and said something that completely confused me. He said, "Good." And I remember frowning immediately because I thought he misunderstood me. So I said, "No, you don't get it. This is all I have." And he smiled slightly and said, "Exactly. That's all you need to start." And at that moment, I honestly thought the guy was crazy. Because how could $20 be enough to start anything when people with degrees, skills, and connections were struggling? And here I was with nothing but a single bill. But before I could question him further, he grabbed my arm gently and said, "Come with me." And for some reason, maybe because I had nothing else to lose, I followed him into the store. And he walked me straight to the beverage aisle and told me to buy as many water bottles as I could with that money. And I hesitated for a second, wondering if this was some kind of joke, but I did it anyway. I picked up a pack of water bottles, went to the counter, paid for it, and when we walked back outside, he told me to stand near the entrance and start selling each bottle for $2. And I almost laughed because it sounded ridiculous. Why would anyone buy water from me when they could just go inside and get it themselves? Probably cheaper, too. But again, I had nothing to lose, so I took a deep breath and tried. The first few minutes were awkward. I felt embarrassed. People walked past me without even looking. Some ignored me completely. And I was just about to give up when the first person stopped. A woman who looked tired